Now, let's talk about what else dropped in 4.10 because active memory is the headline, but there are two more things worth knowing. The first is Local MLX talk mode for Mac. OpenClaw now has an experimental local speech provider. And what that means, for example, is if you're on a Mac, you can run talk mode using a local MLX speech model, which means your voice never leaves your machine because it's working locally. That means no sending audio to a third party. And this is just your Mac processing it locally. For anyone doing client work, handling sensitive data, or just uncomfortable with cloud-based voice processing, this is a real upgrade. And the speed is faster too. Local inference on Apple Silicon is pretty fast. And there's a fallback to system voice if you need it, plus interruption handling. So you can literally cut the AI off mid-sentence if it starts going in the wrong direction. And this is OpenClaw becoming a serious local first tool, not just for developers, but for anyone who wants their AI agents running privately on their own machine. The second thing is the Codex app server harness, right? So OpenClaw 4.10 now has a bundled Codex provider and plugin. What this means in English, it means if you're using GPT models through OpenClaw, those models now run through Codex managed authentication, native threads, model discovery, smarter compaction. So the experience with GPT models inside OpenClaw is just cleaner and more reliable. It feels more native, right? And this is important because it's, separate from the standard OpenAI provider path. So if you're already using OpenAI GPT models, nothing breaks. But the new Codex GPT path is an upgrade you can opt into. So you get two different lanes you can choose from, and you get to pick which one you want. Now, there's also a bunch of fixes in this release that are worth a quick mention because they affect reliability in a way that actually matters for daily use. So Microsoft Teams just got a lot better. If you're connected and you're using OpenClaw with Microsoft Teams, well, there's basically better options for working with your teams, working with framework tokens. You got long tool chains in there now as well that stay alive. This is the technical stuff. It's not that fun to announce, but at the same time, it's actually useful for a lot of people. For example, like cron announcements, scheduled tasks now deliver to team conversation IDs, and there's basically a complete overhaul of Teams reliability. Now, WhatsApp got fixed to inbound replies, queued outbound deliveries, etc. now stay attached across reconnect gaps. So basically, if your connection drops and then it comes back, OpenClaw doesn't lose a thread. It just picks up where it left off previously. And then there's some security stuff like WebSocket RPCs as well that got fixed. But this is super technical stuff that probably 99% of you are not interested in, right? The model fallback also got smarter as well. So your model selection now persists across transient primary model failures. What that basically means in English is if your main model has a hiccup, OpenClaw switches to your fallback, and when the primary comes back, it switches back, right? So you don't lose your setup, but if you do need to fall back on a secondary model, you can. There's also a fix that's small but actually annoying when it happens, which is the compaction indicator now stays in retry pending state until the run actually finishes. Before this fix, it would say context compacted before compaction was done, right? That's fixed now. And / verbose on active memory isn't the only tool that actually got upgraded. So the / context detail command now compares your tracked prompt estimate with cached context usage and shows you untracked provider overhead when it's present. So you get a real picture of like what's eating up your context window. Now let's zoom out for a second here, because what OpenClaw 4.10 is really doing, and active memory is the clearest example of this by far in this update, is moving from a tool you use to a system that works with you, right? And the difference matters because a tool waits for you to tell it what to do. A system that works with you already knows your context, it anticipates, it prepares, it doesn't make you repeat yourself. And that shift is what active memory represents. And it's why this release is worth paying attention to, even if you only read one thing in the change log. Now, most people, 99% of people have either not used AI or they're using AI like a search engine. The type of question, they get an answer, then they close the tab. That's not how real people should be using it, right? They should be building agents that know their business, agents that remember their clients, agents that wake up in the morning already loaded with context. And active memory is the infrastructure for that, right? It's the difference between AI that you have to manage versus an AI that manages itself, right? Huge. And the businesses that figure this out first, that build agents with real memory, real context, real continuity, are going to have a massive advantage over the ones still copying and pasting their business description into a chat window every morning, right? If you're copying and pasting prompts into AI AI, you're probably using it wrong. That window is closing, not dramatically, but steadily. And this is one update along the way that's helped it, right? So the question isn't whether to use OpenClaw's active memory. The question is how fast you build it into your workflows before your competitors do. Now, here's how to actually update. So first, update to OpenClaw, and you just type in update in the chat. The active memory plugin is optional, so you need to enable it. You can go into your plugin settings and then turn it on. And second, choose your context mode as well. So you can start with recent mode. This will basically pull in your recent past context without overwhelming the system. And third, you can actually use /verbose in the chat for the first week just to watch what pulls in when it comes to the active memory and audit it, right? You can tune it. And then fourth, if you're on a Mac, enable local MLX talk mode and just test it for daily OpenClaw interactions. You know, the privacy, the speed difference, pretty interested. And if you want the full 30-day roadmap for building OpenClaw into your business, how to set up active memory properly, how to configure context modes for different client workflows, how to build agents that remember you, your clients, your business, your processes, then come join us in the AI Profit Boardroom. We've got coaching calls every week where we go deep on OpenClaw specifically. We've got members already running active memory for client onboarding, content workflows, and lead gen. There's a full prompt library around OpenClaw workflows, a step-by-step tutorial that updates every day as well, and 2,800 members you can connect with, many of them very deep into OpenClaw, very deep into AI agents, and there's always someone online. So link in the comments description or go to the AIProfitBoardroom.com to get access. OpenClaw 4.10 active memory just changed how AI agents work. The question is whether you're going to actually use it.